Hi, I'm David Norman, and if you're like me, you're sick and tired of the state of politics today in Australia, both at a federal and a state level. The political parties today that have governed for decades have been nothing more than really self-serving corporations themselves, only interested in their own survival, political survival, their own power that they can generate from their political careers, and their own prosperity and their own wealth that they can generate from their own political careers. So it's not what governance should be. Government should be of the people, for the people. And it hasn't been that way for many decades. They're just self-serving political parties. They know that at most elections people will vote for one of the major parties. And one will be in opposition for a few years. They accept that when it happens because they know their time will come around when they'll be in power. And the two just keep going this way and have done for decades and just serving their own interest. And sometimes they work together to keep it that way. They've made it so hard for independents or even minor parties to form and to get a foothold because of the political system which they have developed legislation around to keep it that way. So people have felt that they no longer have a say and a voice in politics. The political parties are really governing for their own behalf, being self-serving, and also for the political donors that support them and the huge big businesses and multinational corporations which again are donors or have their ear and get political favours done for their support. So they've been proven they can't work together. That's another thing of the political system at the moment with the major parties. When one's in opposition, they'll fight tooth and nail to disagree and to fight everything the governing party says and does, and vice versa. When that political party is in opposition, the other one is opposition, they do exactly the same. They do not work together because they want to be seen that one is wrong and one is right. And the people of Australia have had enough of that. They want to see representation in government from people that will work together for the common good of Australians. And they aren't getting that at the moment, that is for sure. People have lost trust in the political system, and they've lost trust in the major political parties. It's been too long since we've seen honesty and integrity in our politics. You see it time and time again in the media, and this is only just what we hear about of things that happen with have elements of corruption and just dishonest dealings that go on from both major political parties, and political parties as in general have a bit of the same smell about them. So the people aren't feeling they have a voice. The parliamentary system used to be, way back when, for the people, of the people, for the people. And their representation from their local electorate could then present legislation and ideas and push for things for not only for their own electorate but for the good of the people of Australia. And that doesn't happen. They feel now big corporations do have more say than the general people of Australia. The average hard-working taxpayer of Australia feels that they have no say anymore, and their say does not matter. That big corporations, multinational and national corporations, even overseas governments have more of a say and the UN has more of a say in our political system and our legislation than what the average person of Australia feels like that they have. Even if you vote for a candidate in your own electorate, if they are under the umbrella of a major political party, there are party bosses that determine how they should vote, what they should say publicly, and in effect determine the outcome of what happens in their electorate through legislation that they have to support. So don't be misled in thinking that just because you're voting for an individual in an electorate, if they come under a political party umbrella, a major political party umbrella, or even a party umbrella, then they would be answerable to that party, and they have to follow that party's direction. So if you're like me, I'm just sick and tired of the political landscape and what's been going on with our political system for decades. I've followed it. People used to say to me, why don't you run for politics? You know, you'd be so good at it. You know, you've always got the interests of the people at heart. Why don't you do it? Why don't you run for local council? All these different things that have been said. Well, through one thing or another, with with work and business, employment and that, I just haven't. But now it's become overwhelmingly obvious that someone has to do something about it, and I'm happy to put my hand up for that. I have such a passion for the people of Australia and the people of my electorate and my local community that I think that the change that I will make and the values that I will add to the political system will just be refreshing. Most people will find extremely refreshing. So now I've decided to run as an independent. I originally had decided that I might have run as a Senate candidate, but I'd spoken to a number of people, especially some people who were very au fait with political workings, and they've convinced me that I would do the very best good for my community and my electorate by running as an independent for that electorate, rather than running for the Senate. So that's what I've chosen to do. And you'll get the major parties saying, "Oh, don't vote for an independent. They can't, they can't do any good. Imagine all independents in the Parliament. It'll be chaos. You'll never get decisions made. You'll never get legislation passed. It'll be every man or every person for themselves. So it won't work." That's a load of rubbish. That's fear mongering that they do on purpose. So because they fear independents getting in, they fear that they'll lose their power control and their power base, and that there'll be some decisions made that might not be in the best interest of their corporate donors or their own political party. But this is what the people want. They want decisions and legislation put forward that do benefit the communities and do benefit the people of Australia. So they will fearmonger and say that having independence won't work. That's a load of rubbish. Independents have and do work together collaboratively and work together for the common good of the people of Australia. And people of electorates all around Australia, a lot of those have common interests. They have common goals and they have common desires for their electorate, and independents know that and will work together to achieve that. It's not one electorate against another. When it is when it's political parties, but independents don't. Independents work for the people, and they will work together to get the best of all people, no matter what electorate they're from. And if there's a need in one electorate, they'll work to get that done first, and then they move on to another electorate, so they help out all people of Australia. So don't fall for the fear-mongering about independence won't work. There's been many great independents in both state and federal politics that have contributed immensely to great legislation which have helped people of Australia, especially when there's been a balance of power and the independents have got together and said, no, this is what the people of Australia want. This is what we're going to support. Or they'll move amendments to make a legislation put forward better or fairer or more just for the people of Australia. So don't be put off by what you'll hear in the media about independence. So look, I've now decided to run as an independent. I made some adjustments to my original website, which was based around when I was originally trying to form a small political party, and it was called Honesty, Integrity, People First. Honesty, Integrity, Anti-Corruption, and People First. But that's what I'm about, and that's the values that I still run under. So my website still has all that theme to it. But now it'll be running as an independent. So look, have a look around my website, have a look at the About Me page so you can see where I've come from and what I'm about, how long I've been in this community. I mean, I've lived in Hinkler. I've been coming here all my life, and I moved to Hervey Bay in 1982, and I've been a member of this community ever since. So it's not as if I'm a fly-by-nighter. I do have this community's interests at heart, and I'll do everything in my power for this community and the people of Australia. So have a look around my website, have a look at my political objectives. These are some of the core things that I would like for the people of Australia and every electorate, including my own electorate of Hinkler. Have a look at those. There's a registration form in there which you can register your support. When it comes time that the writ's called for this next federal election, I need to submit my nomination, so I need to get my 100 plus nomination people to sign the nomination form. So the more people that can sign that in advance, can register their support for me in advance, lets me know where I can go and get that done very quickly. So please do that. But have a look around my website, fill in that form, and if you've got any questions at all, just submit them to me by through the website, and just share the heck out of this by social media or by whatever means that you can. If you follow the News Mail and Bundy and the Chronicle and Harvey Bay, you'll see me adding comments to different articles in there, local articles as well as political articles under David Norman for Hinkler. So have a look at all those. Any questions at all, just get in touch with me. But and I thank you for your time, and I hope you will get your vote at the next election. Thanks.